my name is Elena Sweet, and I'm 11 years old, and I have bone cancer, Ewing sarcoma. When I first found out I had cancer, I totally overpacked on my first day at the hospital. I thought the hospital would be boring, and I would be bored to death. But it turns out they actually have a lot of fun things to do. One of the programs is the Beads of Courage program. You get a bead for every procedure that you do. And this is only 3 months worth, but it's already taller than me. Before this happened, I honestly didn't think of hospitals that much. But around the summer before 5th grade, I started having a lot of what the doctors called growing pains. And one day I just collapsed because I couldn't put any weight on my leg.
I just said, this isn't right. This is not growing pains. And then we talked to the doctor, and they're like, you need to go to UCSF, Benioff Children's Hospital in Oakland.
After they did some quick tests, they asked to speak with me in the hall. And the doctor said to me, it looks like your daughter has a tumor.
Well, I was kind of in a haze, but the first thing that went through my mind was probably if I was going to die. Because before that, I didn't even know kids could get cancer.
Most pediatric cancers are rare. Ewing sarcoma is incredibly rare. There's only 200 to 300 cases a year in the United States, so about 1 in a million. And the treatment of Ewing sarcoma is incredibly challenging. All the phases are very intensive. It requires chemotherapy, it requires surgery, and then also in her particular case, she also needed radiation therapy.
The first couple weeks are probably some of the hardest weeks I'll ever go through, but the staff at the hospital were incredible, and they would make us feel not like sick kids, just like kids.
For any child undergoing cancer treatment, there's a series of scheduled hospitalizations that can range in length, and for Elena, they were quite frequent, but she would frequently be the inspiration for activities or events or games, and she wasn't just helping herself cope, she was thinking about everyone else.
She was definitely in that way, I think, a real proactive part of her own treatment and her journey in a way that is pretty heroic. She wasn't the victim, but there were a lot of heroes in Elena's journey. I think her 5th grade teacher, Gabby, certainly felt heroic to us.
It was always really important for Elena to continue her education, whether she was sitting in a hospital bed or working with her at-home teacher. She still wanted all the work, and that love for learning that she had inside of her never went away.
So in the hallway at UCSF, they have a bell with ribbons hanging down, and when you complete your surgery, you get to ring the bell and hang a ribbon. And so it was kind of like a beacon of hope. So on the day when we did ring that bell, everybody comes out. Her doctors came, her nurses.
The ringing of the bell was a really, really emotional time. I was so happy, so relieved that I got through this. It's been around 2 years since I was last diagnosed, and I came out of this with a disability where I was in a wheelchair, I couldn't walk anymore, but physical therapy has been a big part in my recovery.
Elena was courageous in the way she handled all the adversities of an incredibly intensive and challenging cancer journey. And then I see now the courage to continue to advocate for patients like her.
I am a patient ambassador for UCSF Benioff Children's Hospitals, and I really like it because it lets me tell my story in a way that gives back to other people. And thanks to the amazing care I got, I get to go to school, I get to see my friends, and I get to live my life the best I can.